For me, it's about the law and people. How am I supposed to quantify the value of these things when I don't have evidence?
I'm sorry.
And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. You say one thing, she says another. So who am I to believe?
Justice with truth.
Either you make the decision or I make the decision. You won't like mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Jose Diaz is suing Moses Soto in the amount of $20,000. Mr. Diaz claims his grandmother gave him valuable family artifacts that are unique to their culture and says his roommates sold them to an antique dealer while he was away.
Okay, Mr. Diaz, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Soto, for $20,000. That's
correct,
a
Your Honor.
lot of money. All right, explain how he owes you $20,000.
He sold my grandmother's artifacts that were passed down to me, and my grandmother had them appraised for $15,000.
Wow. Okay, so first of all, tell me why you had these artifacts, how Mr. Soto got a hold of them.
We come from Mexican descent and Chumash descent, so we're local natives, and our family is very traditional.
Okay.
My grandmother passed these artifacts down to me, and they held a lot of sentimental
And why
value
you
to me.
specifically?
I am the oldest out of my siblings, so.
Got it. Okay, the oldest grandchild. Okay, so your grandma had them appraised,
Well,
or?
she had them appraised.
Okay.
And I have the
Go ahead and
paperwork
give
here.
the appraisal to, and your any evidence that you may have to Cinder, please?
These are some pictures of the artifacts.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you. Really pretty.
Thank you. Okay, so here's an appraisal. Okay. They're beautiful. Really beautiful. Okay, so then just tell me what happened then, please.
I've known Moses since high school, and we were in art class together. I would basically teach him how to do really good art since he wasn't, experienced in the art world. And I had moved away to Arizona out of San Antonio after high school, and college just wasn't for me. So I pursued being a tattoo artist since it was my passion. And I was looking for a place of my own because I was living with my parents and my older sister, and that wasn't working for me. So one night I was walking around town and I go into this rustic bar and I see Moses, he's bartending there. And I'm like, oh, that's my old buddy. So I go up and talk to him and we basically have a conversation, and he stated that his ex-girlfriend was moving out of their apartment the following month. And he also threw the idea, since I told him that I was looking for a place, he threw the idea of me moving in with him. So I paid him my portion of the rent and moved in. And when I was moving in, I was showing him my artifacts, and I told him, and I was very clear how sentimental these things were to me since they were passed down from my grandmother.
And how valuable? Did you
And
know how
how
valuable they were, Mr. Soto?
No, I did not know the exact price of what they were.
You did not know they were valuable?
I knew they were valuable, but I know to what extent that
Okay,
was.
so you never showed him the
But I
appraisal?
did state to him that they were very valuable.
Okay.
And that they meant a lot to me.
Okay,
Which,
all right.
since him being my friend, I thought he would take that into consideration, knowing how sentimental they
Okay,
are
so
to me.
question, why did you have these very valuable things your mother passed down from generation to generation in an apartment? Why didn't you keep them at your parents' house? Why didn't you put them in a bank, in a safety deposit box? Why keep them in your apartment if you're moving from place to place and you're kind of like figuring out what you want to do?
Well, I was looking to be on my own.
I
and
understand, but
wanted
why
to-
not leave them at your parents' house and keep them there for a while?
Well, my parents have some as well, but these ones, were...
I understand,
Or
but
mine.
you didn't even know where you were going. Why keep them with you in an apartment if they were so valuable?
I was going to display them in the apartment. I was just looking for a glass shelf to put them in.
Okay.
And this was so soon.
So you felt like, hey, these are mine. I'm going to show them off wherever I live, and I'm not
Right.
going to leave them in my parents' house. All right. So then, what happened next, please? I need to understand why you're suing him for $20,000.
So, not too longer later, I go to a bar and I get into a fight with somebody, basically a bar brawl.
Okay.
And, you know, this person thought I was somebody else, and this person put his hand on me, so it was basically a self-defense situation. And so, you know, after getting into the fight, the security and the bar staff had called the police on me. I had existing traffic violations that turned into warrants. And at the time, I was drinking a lot, so those things had just slipped my mind. And they called the cops on me. I was arrested. I spent the night in jail. Then I was sentenced to 180 days in jail.
Wow. All right.
Because of my existing warrants.
Coming up on Justice for All.
I was also asked to take care of his car payment and his car insurance as well.
Is that true?
For 1 month.
For 1 month, okay?
I told you to take care of those things
Still
for
a
1
month that I was expected to add to the bills and add to the amount that I was expected to give out.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Jose Diaz, who is suing Moses Soto for theft.
So you had really, and there's no way you could have mitigated the down, so that was it. Your punishment was 180 days in jail,
Yes.
right? All right, so then what happened then?
So I had contacted my sister, my older sister, to get in contact with Moses to pay my portion of the rent. And to my knowledge, she paid him $2,100.
Okay.
And
how much was your rent?
My rent was $1,050. We both split $2,100.
Oh, I see. So $1,050. So did the sister pay you $2,100?
Yeah, she paid me $2,100 the one
So
time.
that covered 2 months.
I covered 2 months.
All right.
2 months, and then
And then the third month, right? Did you think about giving him the third month, or did you say, I'll give it to you? You told your sister to give him the third month?
Well, I told my sister to do that. I don't think she had the ability to do that at the time.
So then how was he going to pay rent?
Well, I also stated to him...
You're $1,050.
I also stated to him that he can sell some of my stuff. I had brought multiple things in the house, like my TV. I have lots of pairs of shoes, my bike, even my tattoo equipment. And he took it upon himself to sell my artifacts to an antique dealer.
So he was going to be gone for 3 months. You knew where he was. You could call him, right? That even though he's incarcerated, you can still call him. He paid you for 2 months, so that was good. Then what happened the third month?
Well, the original $2,100 was covering rent, and then I was also asked to take care of his car payment and his car insurance as well.
Is that true?
For 1 month.
For 1 month, okay?
I told you to take care of those things for
Still a
1
month that I was expected to add to the bills and add to the amount that I was expected to give out.
So then the $2,100 did not cover
Not 2
the
months.
second month?
No.
So it just really covered the first month?
We covered the
because
first
you had
month.
to pay his car payment?
Yes.
All right.
After the first month and a half, I had contacted Sarah, his sister, asking for, you know, if the rest of the 21 was going to come in, if there was going to be more payments. She never contacted me back, never answered any of my calls. I tried to reach out to more of his family members, himself included, and I could never really get a hold of anybody. And when it came time for us to pay rent, my landlord wasn't really listening to any sob story I had. He wanted his money, and I had to come up with it. So I did what I could. I had 2 jobs. I unfortunately lost one of my jobs as a mechanic, currently a bartender. That wasn't enough to cover our rent on my own. So I started selling what I could. I sold some of my stuff originally. I sold my own TV. I sold my own shoes. I sold some old recording equipment I had, but that I was still about $1,500 short. So
You could have sold anything else.
So $1,500. So then did it occur to you to sell his TV, his tattoo equipment, that kind of stuff?
Not his TV, his tattoo equipment. I don't know how to value tattoo equipment. I have no idea who would buy tattoo equipment.
You take it to a pawn shop, just like you sold your shoes and your TV. You take it to a pawn shop.
I didn't think it was just like the rest of the things I'd brought to the pawn shop, I thought it was going to give me another small amount that was just going to be more disappointment.
So then you didn't sell any of his electronics, his computer, laptop, stuff like that?
No.
Why did you pick the artifacts?
From my understanding, they were the only thing of really any value in the house. Both of our consoles, both of our TVs.
But you knew they were extremely valuable to him, and it was really important to him.
I understand that.
You did not have authority to sell those artifacts, right? You didn't. You did not have authority to do that. He told you, sell my TV, sell this, sell that. I know you were in a bad position, right? It's not fair that you were put in a position to pay the insurance, to pay this, to pay that. I get that
This
first
is all
month.
within a month of us. He's only been my roommate for about a month.
I
Within
get
a
it.
month,
Not
I've been
your responsibility.
becoming your dad, basically.
I understand that, but you still had no right to sell the artifacts. He told you what to sell.
That if I would have sold, even the things he told me to sell wouldn't have been enough.
Okay. And then there was no way, did you ever try reaching him in jail?
I tried reaching him. I tried reaching his sister. I tried reaching out to his mom. I tried to reach anyone I could. I had no intentions of selling things you care about. I wasn't trying to hurt somebody. I was trying to make sure you had a house to come back to when you got out of jail. That's all I did. And when he got out, there was a house there. If we had got evicted, his stuff would have been on the curb, would have gone to whoever, the highest bidder.
But
All
you
right,
didn't get a receipt.
So did you try to sell any other of his stuff? You just thought, oh my God, artifacts, I know they're valuable, I'm going to sell them.
I mean, I put some of the shoes, but he told me they're all valued very highly. He's a big sneakerhead. I put some up on there. I made a little bit, but I didn't know how to value them right. Honestly, I figured the shoes were probably almost some of this art. I didn't know the exact how well this art was going to be valued, so some of these shoes go for a lot. So I didn't really know what to do.
Okay. So how much did you sell the artifacts for?
It was roughly $5,000 is what I got.
Roughly?
It was like
6,000?
I want to say 5,250, I believe it was. It was a little bit over 5,000.
Okay.
That's a third.
And
of
that's
what
what you use. That's what you use to cover what month's rent?
I covered our last month's rent. I used that to cover the utilities, and then basically for the next month coming up.
Okay. Which next month coming up?
I believe what we paid, that would have been.
So I need an itemization of the 5,250.
That would have been for June.
Do you have something?
No, I do not. I do
Okay.
not have a receipt for
So
the.
just tell me the 5,250.
Oh, it went towards, what is that? That would have been April's and.
How much were you owed after the second month?
After the second month, how much
So
was?
sister gave you $2,100. You paid $1,050 for that 1 month rent, right? That means you had $1,050 left, right? For the second month. What did you do with the $1,050?
Coming up,
You didn't have to pay the car payment the third month?
No, I
and the
stopped. I
insurance?
stopped taking it upon myself to do that.
So there's still about $2,000, $2,500 that are left. What did you do with that money?
you're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Jose Diaz, who is suing Moses Soto for theft.
How much was his car payment?
I believe it was $350 for his actual car, and then it was $125 for his car insurance.
All right, so the first month was paid for. The second month, you're saying you paid the car payment and his insurance. So you basically covered the second month rent, but you were owed, he was already owing you about $600, $650, right? Let's say that. But you were able to pay the second month by selling your stuff and some of his stuff,
yes.
right? So the third month, did you have your rent? For the third month?
I had my portion of it.
So you had your portion of the
Yes,
rent.
and I also started a second job so I could cover his portion as well, but I wasn't going to be paid in time before our rent was going to be due.
So then that means he would owe you $1,050 and let's say another $650, right? So that means he would end up owing you about $1,700 in total. You didn't have to pay the car payment the third month?
No, I
the
stopped. I
insurance?
stopped taking it upon myself to do that.
So there's still about $2,000, $2,500 that are left. What did you do with that money?
I was kind of living expensive, to be honest.
Whose living expenses? Because he wasn't incurring any
just
living
for
expenses.
myself, covering,
But why
and then
should you
also
use his money?
moving into a new apartment.
No. He came out of jail. He was out of jail. So what happened when he came out of jail?
I basically got back. He showed me no receipts of the sale that he made with my artifacts. I mean, he could have sold them for more, but I
Sure,
have to
could
take them for face value. I mean, I have no idea how much he really sold them for.
So you're saying I stole money from you?
You could have sold them for more and pocketed the money. You didn't give me anything after.
Coming up,
You still had to pay him. So how did you, by miracle, find money to pay the fourth month rent when you got out of jail when you didn't have enough while you were in jail?
you're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Jose Diaz, who is suing Moses Soto for theft.
So what did you do the fourth month you got out of jail? You came home. Were you able to pay rent that month?
I was.
How? How did you miraculously be able, how were you able to pay rent on the fourth month and not the second and not the third?
Well, my sister had covered me for those 2 months.
No, she didn't. She covered the first month and she covered part rent for the second month. were you here when he explained that she gave him $2,100?
Yeah, but
and he used $2,100 as 1 month rent. The other time he had to pay your car insurance and your car payment. So he used part of that $1,050 to pay that, and the remainder to pay rent. But you still owed him a balance about $700, $600 for the second month.
Right.
And then the third month he sold your artifacts and paid rent.
Right.
So you still had a balance. You still had to pay him. So how did you, by miracle, find money to pay the fourth month rent when you got out of jail, when you didn't have enough while you were in jail?
Well, he had.
I basically paid his rent again.
But
I
still
with
had
his
extra
money, with his $2,500.
Yes, which is why I did not say anything about it. I did not make a big
So then you paid
deal.
the fourth rent out of the $3,550 extra.
Yes.
So that means you still had $2,500 that was his. Okay. Did you give it to him?
No. When he got out of jail, he immediately started saying like, oh, when he got home, everything was all hunky-dory, and then he sees that his artifacts are gone, and all of a sudden I'm this
Did you
big
even
thief.
ask, hey, how'd you pay for rent? Because I didn't
No.
give you rent.
No.
Did my
That's how
sister
the conversation
Did my
came
sister
up.
give you rent? Did you even bother asking, hey, dude, I'm sorry, did my sister give you every month rent? Did you call him while you were in jail to make sure everything was okay?
Honestly, I didn't, and it was such a short window when I got home
So
out
you
of jail.
assumed that he was taking care of everything for you?
I did.
Just assumed? Why did you think that you were so special somebody had to take care of you financially?
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez.
Mr. Soto, it's unfortunate that you didn't have the eye and that he didn't give you all the information about the artifacts because he lost a lot of money. And maybe you should have thought twice about selling these artifacts because you knew that they were passed down from a family member to a family member. That's my problem with you. You should not have done that. But at the same time, I can't fault you because you were in a desperate situation, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you paid rent, you paid rent, you paid rent, you paid his bills. But you have $2,500 of his that are his. And you decided, you did exactly what he did. You decided to spend them on you, and that's not right either. So based on the evidence, you have to reimburse him $2,500. That is the remainder of the balance from selling his artifacts, okay? All right. Mr. Diaz, you should be ashamed of yourself. You just lost a family heirloom. Why? Because you were not responsible. That's it. Good luck, gentlemen.
All rise.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $2,500.
I tell you, man.
Dude,
I don't have to tell
are
you.
you serious right now?
I did what I had to
knew
do.
what they meant to me, man.
You had a house to come home to. You're welcome.
That's unbelievable, man.
All right.
I just took a massive loss. My family took
I
a massive
apologize
loss.
for that, but I had to do what I had to do. Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.